Assalamu alaikum dear student. I am Muhammad Adnan, chemistry teacher. Today we are going to start organic chemistry portion of IGCSE O-Levels. Our first topic is organic compound and representation of the organic molecules. Dear student, first of all I am going to define organic chemistry. Dear student, organic chemistry is the scientific study of structure, properties and the reaction of organic molecule. To study structure, properties and reactions of organic compound. So next I am going to define what is organic compound. Organic compounds are the compound that contain carbon. Basically it is the carbon and carbon containing compound. To study carbon and carbon containing compound. The compound containing carbon belong to the organic compound. But dear student, there are few compounds containing carbon but not considered as organic compound, such as metal carbonate, Na2CO3. Dear student, here you can see that this compound containing carbon but not considered as organic compound. Another is carbon dioxide. This is the chemical formula of carbon dioxide. Here you can also see that carbon also having carbon. Carbon dioxide also having carbon but not considered as organic compound. Another example, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide chemical formula also containing carbon but not considered as organic compound because these compounds give certain chemical test like inorganic compounds. That's why we cannot consider these compound as organic compound. Got it? So what is the modern concept about organic compound? Modern concept is to study hydrocarbon. and their derivatives. Dear student, here hydrocarbon is a compound containing carbon and hydrogen. So carbon and hydrogen containing compounds called hydrocarbon. So in case of the organic compound, we will study hydrocarbon and their derivative. So dear student, simplest hydrocarbon is methane. The chemical formula of the methane is CH4. If you replaced one of the hydrogen with another heteronuclear atom in oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, then you will get derivative, just like here CH3Cl. This is a derivative of the methane. Methane is a hydrocarbon. Similarly, if you replace one of the hydrogen of the methane with OH, then you will get another derivative. Here another derivative is alcohol. So this is the modern concept about organic compound. Next our topic is representation of organic compound. Dear student, you can represent organic molecule in a number of the way. Can be represented in a number of way. In the form of empirical formula, molecular formula, general formula, displayed formula, structural formula, condensed structural formula. Dear student, these are the ways through which you can easily represent the organic molecule. So one by one I am going to explain these formulas. So first of all I am going to explain empirical formula. Dear student, in empirical formula shows the simplest ratio of the atom in molecules. Shows Empirical formula shows the simplest ratio of atoms in a molecule. Just like, for example, benzene. The actual formula of the benzene is C6H6. So according to simplest atomic ratio, the empirical formula of the benzene is CH4, because the actual ratio carbon and hydrogen present in benzene is 6:6. So the simplest ratio is 1:1. So according to simplest ratio of the atom formula called empirical formula. I'm going to give another example, just butane. Here, dear student, you can see that the actual formula of the butane is C4H10. So according to the simplest ratio, the empirical formula of the butane C2H5. So C2H5 show the simplest ratio of the carbon and hydrogen, which is 2:5. But actual ratio is 4:10. So according to simplest ratio, C2H5 is the empirical formula for the butane. Got it, dear student? Okay. Next one is molecular formula. Dear student, molecular formula shows the actual whole ratio of the atom present in a molecule. Molecular formula shows actual ratio of atoms present in a molecule. For example, benzene. Benzene molecular formula is C6H6 because it represents 6:6. This ratio of the atom present in the formula of the benzene. In case of butane, butane has molecular formula C4H10. So C4H10 is the molecular formula of the butane. Dear student, keep in mind that there are some molecules show molecular formula and empirical formula same way. Just like in case of ethanol, the chemical formula of the ethanol is C2H6O. So it shows same molecular formula and empirical formula. This is empirical formula. This is molecular formula. Because there is no simplest ratio present in ethanol molecule. Similarly, in case of the methane. Methane also has no simplest ratio. So it shows same empirical formula and molecular formula, which is CH4. Got it, dear student? Next, dear student, general formula. General formula shows a ratio of atoms in a family of a compound in terms of n. Here, dear student, n is the varying whole number. So its values n is equal to, it may be 1, 0, 1, 2 into infinity. If you put n is equal to 1, then get one type of the molecule. If you put n value 1, then you will get second type of the molecule. Just like in case of alkane family. So dear student, the general formula for the alkane family is CnH2n plus 2. Alkenes general formula for the alkene family is CnH2n. In case of alcohol, CnH2n plus 1 OH. So these are the general formula of alkane, alkenes and alcohol. Next one is very important, which is displayed formula. Displayed formula shows all the atom and all type of the bond in a molecule. It shows all the atoms and all the bonds in a molecule. For example, in case of ethane, ethane is the hydrocarbon containing two carbon and all bonds are single. So the molecular formula of the ethane C2H6. So the displayed formula for this carbon single bond carbon H H H. Similarly, in case of second carbon, carbon always form 4 bond because it belongs to the group 4. So it always fulfill their tetravalency. The second example is ethene. So the molecular formula of the ethene is C2H4. So displayed formula of ethene is carbon double bond carbon, carbon single bond hydrogen, carbon single bond hydrogen, carbon single bond hydrogen. Another example is ethanol. Ethanol general formula is C2H6O. To structural for displayed formula for the ethanol is O single bond H H H H H and H. In these examples, dear student, you can see that we show all the atom and all the bond openly. Got it? Next one is structural formula. Structural formula shows only important bond. Mean bond present in functional group. Mean in case of carbon double bond carbon, carbon triple bond carbon, carbon double bond O in case of the carboxylic group, carbon triple bond N in case of the nitrile. So the structural formula shows only important bonds. Mean carbon double bond carbon, carbon triple bond carbon. But actual covalent bond are not shown or omitted. Let's see the example of structural formula. Ethane. CH3. Dear student, here you can see that I have not shown any type of the bond because there is no important bond or special bond present in case of the ethane. So the structural formula for the ethane is CH3CH3. But in case of the ethene has functional group carbon double bond carbon. But in case of the ethane there is no functional group. Must keep in mind. So in case of the ethene, carbon double bond carbon show, but carbon hydrogen bond not shown here. Got it? So this is the structural formula for ethene. Next one is, got it dear student? Okay. Next formula is condensed structural formula. Condensed structural formula shows no important as well as no covalent bond. Such like in case of the butane. Dear student, here you can see that the actual formula for the butane is C4H10. Here I am going to compare structural formula with condensed structural formula. So butane, the structural formula is CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH3. In case of the condensed formula, here you can see that dear student, CH2 and CH2 both are same group. So in case of the condensed formula, you can write same group at a same place and write the number outside the bracket. Write as CH3, CH2, the whole twice. Why we write here twice? Because here two CH2 group present. So in case of the condensed structural formula, you can show repeated group at a same place enclosed in bracket and write their number outside the bracket. So this is the structural formula of butane. This is the condensed structural formula for butane. Let me to give another example, just like in case of pentane. The actual formula for the pentane is C5H12. First of all, I'm going to show their structural formula: CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Here, dear student, you can see that here 3 repeated CH2 group present. So how can we write the condensed formula? Anyone tell me about, please? Okay, good. So here 3 CH2 group. So you can write here CH2 in the whole thrice CH3. So above is structural formula for pentane. Below one is condensed structural formula for pentane. Hopefully everyone got it about organic compound and representation of the organic molecule. Kindly like, subscribe and share my channel. Thank you.